Move out my way, boo-boo. You better move, fat boy. I'm trying to exercise. Move out my way, boo-boo.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I was planning on doing a rehouse video, but not the one I wanted. So I'm going to rehouse something in this tarantula room enclosure. This is one of their old ones. Love these little plastic ones. So I'm going to use something to go in there. But I was going to do the two P Metallicas I've got in there. You can see one there, and this one here is a lot bigger, even though you can't see it and it doesn't look like it. It's quite a fat one, which I'm thinking this one's a female. She's right up against that cork butt there. She's probably about that size, so she definitely needs to be rehoused. But doing tarantula maintenance, I've got a Tapinauchenius Rasti, the Carribean diamond, in this, and it did have web all the way up to the top. So if any of you are aware of how these set themselves up, you just need a couple of little bits of cork bark in there and they web up the whole enclosure, and I mean absolutely everywhere. That's not as much as what was in there. I had to remove the top third because feeding crickets, sometimes the crickets stay there at the top or whatever for a bit, and then the tarantula come up and get them and go down, vice versa. But I was lucky enough to see on one of these, the crickets that I got from, or is it Pets for Home, had a couple of mites on them, but I didn't notice until, because I didn't check that packet, so I didn't notice until I fed. And the tarantula's fine, it's got nothing on it from what I could see, but I need to get it out and have a good look and see how it is. But there was a couple on the web, and as any of you know in the hobby, when you get these sort of mites, it was the brown mites as well, so the ones you don't want to have. They will come out of any of the holes and they'll spread and they'll go across absolutely everything. So I've checked everywhere in the room and there's nothing. So it was just contained to here. That cricket box I had is no longer there. I got rid of it. There was only a couple that was in it, but they were on that particular cricket that went in here. I removed all that webbing on that top third, and I don't think I can see anything in there now. I'll give you a close up in a second, but I want to just get it out for peace of mind, because I did have two of these Rastis, the Caribbean diamond, and one died in a molt, as loads of tarantulas do. I don't keep any water dishes in there, but you can see I've got the substrate at the bottom on top of gravel, then I've got a bit of moss going all the way around. But what I do is I just spray every 2 days in the top third on the webbing, and the water just drips all the way down and goes to the bottom, and I've actually seen these teas come out and drink at the top. So what I want to do is give it a bit more room in this one, centralise it, and then put a little bit of ink pots, like water dishes, going around at the top, so at least it's got some of the drink from there. But I've never had an issue with this with moisture. As you can see, it's drier that side than it is this side, so when I sprayed it, it would always run down the same side. But just curious how big this one is, and then just wanted to check to make sure there was nothing left in there. So if I have a quick look inside, as you can see, there is absolutely nothing. You've got tiny bits of like mould you get at the bottom, but it's not that horrible mould. It's when you get the waste of the material of the animals, crickets and stuff like that. But there is springtails in there, and they normally go through and tidy that up, so that does disappear after a couple of days. But as you can see, there's nothing, and you would normally see them on the side of the plastic as well. Absolutely nothing in there. So I want to get this one out and just have a little look at it on the actual display that I've got. So I want to get this one out and see if we can get it on the display and have a look at it and see if it has got any on there or if it has grown at all. So let's just get straight into sorting out the enclosure, and then we'll get this one out. Let's remove these pieces. Cleaned all these items out of the old one. It was a versicolor that was in here, and it was a female. And I've got another one which is larger at the top. Got them both at the same time, and the other one I think is a male, but doing really well. But the female one, for some reason, molted and then never ate again. Was doing perfectly well, about that size, never ate again, and then just where the abdomen just goes in and dries in on itself and then it goes all loose. There was just something wrong, so that's due to a molt, I think. It's absolutely gutted. For some reason with the versicolors, I never get to be able to get a mature female, like raise one up. I've managed to do a couple of males, but I want to have a female myself, and I just had a female and then she gets an issue. Let's get some dry substrate in there. I've got water at the bottom already in here. When these are smaller, they do like to burr a little bit, but this one is getting to that size now where it's starting to use the whole of the enclosure. So let's get some more in there. And a little tip I found just from doing things myself, where you get the substrate where I've got some dry stuff and it's full of like the mixture in there, and you get these hard bits, don't break them down, leave them solid, because if you leave it all the same size compacted as well, when you put moisture in, that's when it can get waterlogged. If you do this and leave in tiny bits of wood and all sorts of stuff and leaf litter, it just makes it a lot more healthier. And then with the potting compost I've got in there as well, so I think that's enough. Let's get some water in there. So that's enough for that one at the minute. So inch and a half of substrate. No gravel at the bottom of this one because I don't need any moisture to sink down at the bottom. These do like a little bit of humidity, but they get it from the web. So spray on the web every couple of days and you will see them come up. And I see them most evenings and they will drink off the web once you've done it. So I'm going to put a couple of little ink pots in here just so it's got somewhere to drink from for the next couple of days. But let's get some cork bark in here. Right, so I've chose 2 flat pieces to go in there. Let's just fix that in. You could do like a round tube if you like, but on this one I know they like to, if I join it together like that, they like to sit in the middle, do their own web chamber, and then they develop everything outside as well. So just give it an anchor point. There we go. Pop that in. So there we go. So that's all we need. Look, that's just the hot glue before from the previous items I stuck on there, but that's it. That's all we need, and it's just going to web the whole way around. I still love these, even though they get a little bit scratched from the twigs and cork bark that we put in there. But that looks really good. So let's put some water dishes in. A little bit of wet moss. Just drop that in. A little bit of leaf litter. And I think that looks better. Right. Alright, let me just get these ink pots in. Put them in at different levels. So there we go. So that's it, finished item, and I think that'll look perfect once it starts webbing up everywhere. So let's get this one out and see if we can inspect it. Right, see if it'll do run. I've got a catch cut, but I'm not too worried about this one. So let's have a look. See if we can find out where it is. Always hate having to break their home. Because see, it's extensive webbing. Just check any mites. Nothing. Brilliant. Oh, there you go, there you go. Stop running. You'll see it in a sec. Let me just find out where it is. Right by my finger. No mites, just tiny bits of residue of mould from the prey, previous molt. It's an old one. I moved out a fresh one last week. Here it is. You're going to come up with this. It's panicking. It is in there at the minute. Right. See if we can find it. Whoa, look at that gone. Panicking. There we go, it's settled down for a second. Let me just get this. Nope, and it's gone off. It's so fast, this one. God, it's all over the place. Doesn't like the light. So, there it is. It ran off and darted, ran all over the place, panicked and jumped. But I think it doesn't like the light. Do you want to turn the big light off just in case? And I can zoom in. What about lowering that down, the blind? See if that might make it settle. That'll do.
Oh my god!
It's doing the same again. Right, it's on the back.
I don't know where to go!
So there it is, on the back, the Tapinauchenius Rasti. You can see it's got a coloration on the abdomen there. It's got a different coloured pattern. On the camera, the coloration of the legs isn't coming out. There's like a rose colour. If you come around here, babe, can you see that? On the camera, the legs look almost like a green sort of sheen.
Yeah.
But then off, it looks like a rose.
Peachy colour.
Yeah, it does.
Crazy little dude.
Can almost not focus on it. Beautiful colours.
It's more camouflage now.
It is on there.
Again, the camera doesn't show it, but from here, the back end actually matches the colour of the wood.
You can see the green as well, can't you? It's amazing how it looks one colour on
The light changes it.
this 8K camera, and to the eye, look at that, that's just like
Yellow.
yellowy green, yeah. Your puppy?
Hello. You just had a walk and a bath, haven't you?
I think what I have to do is see if I can get it to go straight in.
Oh, I feel secure on there. Oh.
Careful, it will jump.
Yeah. It's gone right under.
You reckon?
Had enough now, isn't he? He's all squinched up. Plain dead.
Has he gone
Oh, yeah, went straight down the middle of the court. You can hide now, dude.
Oh yeah, God, you're not going to see that now, are you?
No, that's where he wants to be.
Right, didn't manage to get as much as a look as I wanted, but it was extremely fast, would not settle out in the open, very skittish under the light. Tried to make it a bit darker in here, turned the lights off, still would not settle, just permanently needs the security of its web. Hopefully when this gets a lot bigger, you'll be able to see it a lot more, but it is so camouflaged. It's got like the greens and when they grow older they look like this, and it has that sort of rose purpley sort of sheen. I can't wait for them to grow like that. No idea if this is male or female. It's a good size though. It's about, I would say, 2 inches, so it's definitely on its way. So hopefully it will start webbing up this enclosure within the next few days and I'll start feeding it, but this will make it a little bit easier to maintain in here. It's done really, really well in these tubs. It was just my fault with the crickets. I should always check, but the amount of tarantulas and spiders and things we've got in here that you're feeding, you just, from my own stock, I just do that and feed them, which is no problem because I've got our own roach colony as well, which we're building up so we can use off them. But for the meantime, we use crickets, and just forget to check the tub of crickets before actually feeding, because if you open them up, they just disappear and they go all over the place. So I made the mistake of putting that in here, but I managed to catch it. There's no mites anywhere at all, so I managed to rip them out off that web with that prey item. But just for peace of mind, I wanted to get them out and have a look, and I have had a look at the tarantula off camera when I caught it in the catch cup, and there is nothing on it. It is absolutely pristine. I think you can see that via the close-up we gave on there, but didn't get a very, very long look at it, but we still managed to get it rehoused, and that's it all done. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.